Hey everybody, it's B007 back again with another 10-minute movie review. And this time I'm continuing with my retrospective of British horror director Ben Wheatley's movies in the run-up to reviewing his latest release, A Field in England. So we did Down Terrace, and we're now moving on to his 2011 release, Kill List, which I think is really the movie that took him beyond the kind of art house, specialist cinema, people who really know about cinema knowing about him, into the wider mainstream audience, because the movie was just such a fantastic breakout hit. As with Down Terrace, the first part of this movie is kind of almost like a suburban, unsettling movie that doesn't really have any overt violence, but where everywhere violence is brooding amongst the pot plants and the shrubbery. And basically what we have is a young family. We've got the father, Jay, played by Neil Maskell. He's a British war veteran, and he's back from what was obviously some kind of really traumatic mission gone wrong in Kiev. As usual with Ben Wheatley, it's filmed on DV, handheld, so you're really up close and personal with these people in their houses. And you get the sense of intimacy, and you really feel that he loves his wife, he loves his young son. And there's pictures of them roughhousing in the garden and just cuddling up in bed, and it's really convincing. But there's also underneath that a tension that the wife obviously wants him to be earning more money, and he obviously does have some kind of post-traumatic stress disorder. So anyway, the wife kind of sets him up with his friend called Gal, who's played by Michael Smiley. And it becomes clear pretty soon that they're engaged in contract killing, hence the title of the film. And so we first meet the two of them at this dinner party, which actually I didn't find particularly well done. And you see Gal's kind of weird girlfriend, who in the course of that dinner party scratches an occult symbol into the back of the household mirror and then snatches up a bloody tissue that Jay has used. And of course it's meant to be deeply creepy and bizarre and witchy, but actually just seems slightly kitschy and unintentionally just funny and weird. But still, all the way through this first part of the movie, there's lots of great foreshadowing, lots of violence and play fighting with swords and just general weirdness. And then as we transition into the second act of this film, you start seeing kind of dead animals show up and just weird occurrences. But anyway, where the movie really kicks off for me is when it goes into the second act and you've got Jay and Gal out tracking down the people they're meant to be murdering on this kill list. And as with Down Terrace, what I really love about it is this deep strain of black comedy, that you have this kind of quite horrific horror, which is definitely more visual as the movie progresses, so it gets more and more horrific, but undercut with this really kind of deadpan British comedy of these two mates going from hotel to hotel, and just the kind of stupid banter that they have with each other. It's absolutely superb. As we move through that second act, we realise that some of the victims want to be killed, and that's when it starts to become really, really horrific. You see an old man who's probably Kitty Fiddler, a priest with some kind of past, and you don't really understand who's paying them off, who's really in control. And that's when the sort of psychological and visual horror really start to meld in a very disturbing mix. And as we get into the third act of this film, I just can't reveal too much or I'll spoil the ending. But suffice to say, it just goes batshit crazy in the best way, with lots of awesome cultish violence and third act reveals, and this ending that's just unbelievably disturbing in the imagery. I mean, there's this final scene where the look on a particular character's face or the reaction to a particular thing is just haunting. I have to say that when I think about how this film has been made on such a low budget, I think that it's absolutely kudos to Ben Wheatley for getting the effects that he wants, and really innovative use with his director of photography, Laurie Rose, of handheld, night vision, the use of lighting, the use of sound. Everything has been a breakout hit. So I definitely would urge you to go and check it out, even if you're not normally into horror, which I'm not actually. It's not a genre of film that I respond to particularly well, but I really do think this is up there with some of the great modern British horror movies. So if you've seen Kill List and disagree or agree with my take, feel free to post a comment on the blog, b007.com. In the meantime, have a great day, and I hope you'll tune in for my review of Sightseers, which is the penultimate stop on our way to a field in England.
Come out with your hands on your head. Turn the rap music off and step away from the stereo. Put the rap album down. Leave MC Hammer alone. Turn it off.
Guns don't kill people, rappers do. Ask any politician and they tell you it's true. It's a fact, music makes you violent. Like Michael Jackson telling little Timmy to be silent. You don't believe me? Here's my hype. Offer me the record and I'll show you the type of criminal. This rap is breathing. It's a fact that MC Hammer left me bleeding. Vanilla Ice made my mother safe. If I stuck with UB40 then I would have been in luck, but I didn't. I got it wrong. Cypress Hill told me to make a bomb, but I stacked it. I bought another tape. The power by snap made my balls ache. So remember, kids, to the head double tap. Guns don't kill people, it's just rap.
Guns don't kill people, rappers do. Call to the police. Guns don't kill people, rappers do. Call to the police. Guns don't kill people, rappers
Kill List
do.
played the festival circuit in 2011, including South by Southwest, Fright Fest and Toronto. It was released that year in the UK and Ireland, and the following year in the USA. The movie has a running time of 95 minutes, and was rated 18 in the UK for strong violence and language. It is now available to rent and own. The music for this podcast is provided by The Chromatics, Tick of the Clock, and then the end credits from the wonderful Goldie Looking Chain